Ladies and gentlemen, I am SidAlpha, and I'm going to dive right in here without too much preamble because this is a bit of a weird situation and it took a little bit of time to be able to puzzle through. Now, I did reach out to Valve regarding this, but unfortunately I haven't had much luck on that score as of late, as my contacts at Valve seem to be once again ignoring my emails, which is fine, I suppose, but it makes for a bit of a troublesome issue when we're faced with a glitch of this nature, if it even is a glitch. The details are still a bit fuzzy at this point in time, but hopefully as we're going through here, it might be able to become a little bit more clear. However, as I do have a functional Steamworks developer login, I was able to get some additional information that helped me out quite a bit. Basically, what this boils down to is a glitch that rears its ugly head due to some housekeeping needed on the part of some developers and their Steam storefronts for their games. So, Sir Violent Death, friend and member of Sentinels of the Store, brought a lot of the initial information to me out of a concern for the severe impact this issue can have with indie game developers. The game that he discovered having the issue was Glare One More, a word entry style game developed by Kurenai Book and is what is on your screen now, and it is currently $8 US at the time of this recording. Now, I say that because apparently, and thanks to Wayback Machine, I'll still be able to show this to everyone, it was possible to obtain the game for free via a link over at SteamDB.info. This would allow anyone and everyone to obtain a free copy of a paid game. This was posted to a thread on SteamGifts.com for people to download, and download they did. Over 35,000 did at any rate. Enough that, and Sir Violent Death grabbed this quick snip a few days ago, that Glare One More managed to get onto trending on SteamDB due to the card farmers taking advantage of the glitch. This had the unfortunate consequence of absolutely flooding the Steam market with the Glare One More trading cards, and those card farmers completely tanked the value of the cards on the Steam market due to the high volume of cards being obtained and converted to gems, so card packs of higher value games could be crafted from those, and I'll explain how and why in just a second. One person did note that obtaining the game via this method did not give them a +1 to their game count, and as it turns out, the reason for this, in Glare One More's case, was due to the fact that the developer was providing free licenses to cafes and licensors, which operates as a site-wide license for businesses such as PC cafes, schools, showrooms, and the like. Then we saw the same issue crop up with Clean Water and their game Fantasia Final Definitiva Remake, who had over 175,000 copies activated illegally via this glitch, and my apologies, Spanish is not my strong suit. And this was apparently due to an old demo version of that game, which is what people were downloading. There is an additional problem though, because one would think that the demo versions or the site versions wouldn't come with Steam trading cards because typically they do not. However, that is where the apparent glitch in Valve's system lies, because it is a separate algorithm that determines card drops, and while the developers might fix this issue, those that obtained the free version of the game through the SteamDB link would be seen by the system as to be having a paid version of the game instead, which would mean Steam trading cards will drop for those games for bot farmers. And we see this in a second Steam Gifts thread that contains a metric ton of indie games that this is happening to. And they state directly, even if the game doesn't give you a +1 on your library or drop cards, get it. When the dev fixes the problem, it will start to drop cards, if the game has it, and count as +1 on your library. The games Dark Matter, Glare One More, and Trapped are proof of that. The developer Clean Water posted it on the Steamworks forums, and yes, hello dirty devs, I do have access to the Steamworks forums, you can't hide from me in there. And a couple of the responses for this having shown some additional light for us. The user Psychonic responded with this post stating, "It looks like your store package was changed to be the new paid one, but your free package still exists from before. Even though it's not your primary store package, people can still redeem it with or without that glitch on SteamDB. What you want to do is effectively retire the free package completely. This will also remove ownership of the game that only obtained it via the free package. The steps below require using the console in your browser's DevTools, since there's no UI for changing your package type or removing an app from a released package, or the last app from a package." And he provides a very helpful how-to on removing these files that are causing these thefts, which the end result will be the free packages are removed, they're locked down, and anyone that obtained the game through these free packages would have it removed from their library. Now, this was corroborated by the developer of Hack the Core and Red and Blue, who was experiencing the same issue. That developer said, "The same thing happened to me with both my previous FTP apps, Hack the Core, Red and Blue. Over 92,000 copies downloaded, but it stopped after a day. I contacted Steam support, but in the meantime, I added a price to the free masked commercial package and removed the depot for the free app package. And we can verify that did the trick, as when we look at the current form of our merry little band of thieves, we see that both Hack the Core and Red and Blue, as well as a couple others, had completely resolved this issue. Now, I got some anecdotal and completely unverified confirmation that Valve are attempting to correct this quietly behind the scenes, and thank goodness for that. However, this is one of those instances where we could get angry over a massive glitch and vulnerability that just so happened that the SteamDB.info API hooks happen to be on the outside edge of. It was merely an easy GUI to provide people illegitimate access to these games, and it is allowing Steam card bot farmers to profit handsomely, meanwhile causing a lot of damage to the value of these games' trading cards. Also, this is one of those instances where, yes, I would love to take a big bite out of Valve for this, but I really don't see this as being anyone's fault specifically, more a series of exceptionally unfortunate circumstances. Now, I don't think anyone could have foreseen this, as it would require a combination of a bug with Steam, a game having a free cafe license or a free demo, and a third-party site with Steam API connections to pull valuable information that even made the glitch visible in the first place. Of course, the bot farmers make use of the API to feed their thousands upon thousands of accounts all on their own. So they're able to do this completely external to SteamDB. So this was not SteamDB's fault. It wasn't the fault of the developers. I don't think it was even necessarily the fault of Valve's. It just appears to be a bad situation all around. That is, unless you're a bot farmer. So please, as a reminder, developers need to eat too. Don't obtain games through illegal means. I know this sort of thing is tempting to some people, but indie developers aren't EA. They can't absorb that sort of loss of income that could come about from a glitch like this. Please buy their games, help them out. The average indie devs are hardworking and wanting to create games that people enjoy, and they shouldn't be made to suffer through circumstances completely beyond their control. It's a sad situation. There's not much we can do to really help or rectify this. There's not much anyone can do except correct it so it doesn't keep happening in the future, but this is something that we should be aware of and be mindful of, because this sort of thing can have severe ramifications for an indie developer. Well, once again, ladies and gentlemen, I am SidAlpha, and I'll see you next time.